This is Mark Bell from supertraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West, answering more questions today for the Power Project, brought to you by dangerouslyhardcore.com. We got a question from A's D.H. Frost, and his question is about deadlifting. He said that he's been deadlifting, and I've noticed a dramatic decrease in my deadlift since I've started squatting. Now, this should not really be the case. This indicates to me that you're doing your squats as a two-part lift and that you're taxing your lower back when you're doing your squats. So if you're just introducing squats for the first time, you haven't really focused on them, you haven't really hit them up that much yet, let's keep the weights a little bit lighter and let's learn how to walk before we start to run. Learn how to do your squat before you start to push heavier weight. Learn how to execute it. Learn how to do it perfectly. Learn how to do the squat the right way before you progress and start to add weight. So let's just say you can squat 300 pounds. Hypothetically, let's just say that. Just use 225 in training for a few weeks. Just use the same weight. Do sets of 6 or sets of 8, somewhere in that range. Really push yourself. And if it feels too easy, then maybe if you're wearing a belt, take your belt off. Try it beltless. If it feels too easy, try to move it a little bit slower. Try to lower the weight a little slower and try to work on your timing and come up more explosively. You don't always have to do things with more weight. You can just do them better than you did the last time. So week 1 with 225 might not feel so great, but week 2 should feel a little bit better. You should be a little more aggressive with it. Week 3 should be a little better, and so on. Also, make sure you're not dive bombing your squats. Make sure you're not going down and going and missing a piece of the puzzle out of the bottom of the squat. Make sure that you're descending kind of evenly and then exploding upward. You can do whatever you want when it comes to a competition. You can do whatever you want when it comes to just smashing the biggest weights possible. Do what you got to do when that's the case. But in the meantime, learn how to do those squats the right way. Let's see. You're kind of asking if it's something that you'll get used to. Also, make sure there's enough space between your deadlifting and squatting, and if it does become a real big problem, then simply do your deadlifts and squats on the same day, and flip-flop it from one week to the next. Deadlift first 1 week, the next week squat first, and so on. And that way, you'll have a full 7 days to recover from both, and you can have another day, 3 or 4 days later, that just focuses on assistance work. That's just like a little bit of lower back, hammy, abs, that kind of stuff. All the things are involved in hitting up a big fat squat. We got another question here from Daniel Hollabaugh off of Facebook, and he wants to know how long I rest after meet. I rest 0 days after meet. I try to get right back in there as soon as possible. Actually, that's not entirely true. Sometimes there's like 1 day of rest, because a lot of times out here in California, we lift on a Sunday, and we'll do the meet on a Sunday, and super training doesn't meet until Tuesday. So we meet Tuesday night, so Monday would be off, and then I would get back to it on Tuesday. But for me, I believe that it's going to be a very individual thing. Some guys like to just not even go into the gym at all. This is not a real 40. This is a thing of tea. Unsweetened tea. Not allowed to eat any carbs. It's a horrible existence I'm living. But anyway, what the hell was I saying? I don't even know where I was. Anyway, I take usually about a day off, but it's going to be an individual thing. It's going to be up to the person. For me personally, I like to get back in there. It's a mental game for me. I like to kind of, get back in there after a big total or after a big disaster, either way. And I like to get back to work immediately. I don't like to let my mind rest. Rest when you're dead, I always tell people. I like to get back in there right away. Other people like to break. They like to break. It makes them more hungry. So whatever's going to work for you, if taking a week off and not stepping foot in the gym for 10 or 12 days or even 2 weeks or so is going to make you more hungry when you return back to the gym, then by all means do it. All this stuff is always about getting results and being part of a long long journey. Powerlifting is not a sprint. I say it all the time. Fitness is not a sprint. Dieting is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's a thing that you're going to be doing, or at least you should be doing for the rest of your life. Strength is a key component to life. When your strength runs out, you die. If you don't stay healthy enough, you're not going to be. If you don't keep your health in check, you don't keep your nutrition in check, you will not be healthy enough to even exhibit your strength. So it's all part of a giant puzzle. And as long as you're consistent, and as long as you can continue to be motivated and continue to get your ass in the gym and work hard, then that's all that really matters. So if you need to take 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off after a meet so you can stay motivated when you come back, that's fine. As long as you're getting results, who can argue with you? And that is it from supertraining.tv.